Why don't you take a seat and tell me what appears to be the problem? Welcome to another exciting new episode of Consult the Doctor. I have today a couple of questions that are all relating, bad grammar, that all relate to my channel. And I know that that's not for everyone, so I wanted to be clear and announce that on the spot, but so today will be all about me. Okay. Do you think the success of your channel is largely due to an online marketplace? When people can't try out pens, they might want to watch reviews online, or do you think there is also a connection of a shared interest? Well, I do think there is a connection of a shared interest, and I find that that's an important aspect. I'm trying to not wax and sort of poetically here. I do think the online marketplace is a sharp analysis. I find that a lot of people, myself included, look for product reviews online before they purchase something these days. 15, 20 years ago, we did not have that, but we do now. Remember, people, I remember the time the internet did not exist. For you young people out there, remember, I know those days. Anyway, I think it's a good point. You want to see how a product works, and I think especially with fountain pens, they're really an object to be used, and it's hard to gauge how well it will write from the outside. You can look at beautiful press photographs of fountain pens, but what you really want to see is someone use that pen and comment on what it feels like in hand. I don't have the feeling or ambition that my reviews are revolutionary, because the video quality is not the best, the audio quality is not the best, but I think people like my reviews because I show them what the pen is like. And that's why I try to keep it really tight as to time. I found that when I started off, reviews were like 20-25 minutes, and that was commented on negatively, and rightly so. I'm way too unstructured. But I find these days I pause for dramatic effect there, for you to say no. But it's true though. I find that these days a lot of my reviews are 10 minutes, sometimes less, sometimes 12 minutes, but that's kind of it. And I think that's what people want too. You want to be focused, tight. You say what you want to say and then leave it at that. So I think that's an important point, and yes, that's what I want to achieve. I want people to watch that review and then say, okay, that's what that pen is like, it's not for me, or that's smaller than I expected, or bigger than I expected. And I think that's an important aspect of fountain pen reviews, really. Do others watch because of a shared interest? I would certainly hope so. And it is nice to I guess, watch someone who also loves pens and papers and inks and that kind of stuff. But it's probably a bit of both. Now, here we have a couple of questions from the same person that I'm just going to go through. And it started with the premise: your format has been the same for a long time. Do you ever get bored of it? And it was not meant as a sort of a dig, but as a general question. The short answer for me is no. No, I don't get bored of that format. In fact, I find it helpful, kind of tying into what I just said. If you've never recorded a video, you might be surprised at how difficult it is. It's not easy. It's not easy to stay focused and to convey in a concise and clear manner what you want to convey. So having a format that used to be, I'll cover the parts of the pen, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and I'll do a writing sample, and then at some point I switch that to, I'll tell you what I like about it. So I cover the part, I don't even remember my own format. I'll show you the parts of the pen, I'll do a writing sample, I'll tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it. I switched for that for two reasons. One was that I think it's more logical to do a writing sample and then talk about likes and dislikes. But secondly, it's easier. It's easier. Otherwise, I had to tilt the... Anyway, it doesn't matter. Technically, for me, it's easier to edit the videos that way, if they come in that way. Because then I have a little bit of me, my face, point the camera down, show the pass to the pen, and do the writing sample. Tilt the camera back up, talk about likes and dislikes. And fun fact, I typically record these in introduce the pen, then talk about likes and dislikes, and then splice in the pass to the pen and writing sample, just as a bit of trivia. But I don't get bored because it's the structure that allows me to stay on track and stay focused. So I don't find it boring, and I think people don't find it boring because people viewers come to expect it. And as a result, they know, okay, about 5 minutes in dribble, there will be a writing sample. That's what I really want to see. And I know that's how people use the videos. And I don't do timestamps every video because I simply don't have the time, which is ironic. I just don't have that time. But if you know, okay, he's gonna show off the pen and then he's gonna do a writing sample. I know I have people, they tell me, yeah, I don't care about what you tell me about the pen. I just want to see it. So I just scroll right to the writing sample, I watch it, and then I'm done. Okay, perfect. No issue. But then you do need to know approximately where in the video that's about to happen. So yeah, there is that. Next question. Same again, all same person. Do you wish you would have started differently? Not really. I found there's only so much. There are only so many ways you can do a pen review. In my mind, you want to show off the pen. Look, it's a nice pen. You want to show how it writes. And then there's the review part, which is the most subjective, in my mind, part of the video, where you talk about what worked for you, what did not work for you. And to do that, you need to have those parts. Parts of the pen, writing sample, likes, dislikes. You can flip them around, but what else is there to talk about? Think about it. You could have a special segment on just the box of the pen, or you could have a special segment where you run over the pen with your truck or fire it from a shotgun to show what it, but I mean, how useful is that really? To most people, I don't think it would be very useful. So those are the main sections, and I don't know. Je ne regrette rien. Now, is there anything along the lines of, if only I'd known this from the beginning? I'm thinking. This is really something I need to think about. Not about the review process. In an ideal world, I'd have a studio, soundproofed, with studio lighting, with a 4K camera, with professional microphone. But I don't have that. So some people get very offended when they look at my videos and they don't like the video quality. I do use an actual camera, not a phone or something. Although these days phone cameras are really good. Anyway, I think my video quality is fine, but I know there are people out there whose video quality is better. The famous example is, of course, Matt from the Pen Habit, he basically had a home studio, and his production quality was insane. Video, audio, everything was perfect. But then he spent 24 hours on a single video, the editing and all that. I don't want to spend that amount of time. I just don't. So I wish I had known that doing pen reviews is a lot of work, because it really is. And even though I don't spend 24 hours on a single review, you might be surprised at how much work a single review is. If I don't count the testing of the pen, which in some cases takes a couple days, in some cases takes a couple weeks, but the actual process of making the video, it is most likely an hour of work per review, because I have to, again, not actually testing the pen for multiple days, but I have to take notes on the pen. I have to record the video, edit the video. I'm not counting rendering the video, which is easily 45 minutes to an hour, depending on the video length. Then I have to upload it. Well, uploading takes time, but uploading a video on YouTube is not that easy anymore. It used to be easy. Now you have to click through 5 or 6 separate screens indicating if there's sex or violence or that kind of stuff in your video, if there's swearing, if it's made for children or not, if you want to set up ads and where you want them throughout the video, start or end, whatever, all these kinds of things, if they can be skipped or not. You have to do this every time. Then I have to create a post on the website which means I have to measure a pen, which is a lot of work and takes a lot of time. Take all the dimensions, measure them, put them in a document, copy that into the website, take pictures, schedule it. All of that, those logistics take a lot of time. And I wish I would have known it took this much time. I'd probably still do it, but since you asked, I wish I would have known that. Okay, do you feel like you can't change the format because viewers would get irritated? Listen, viewers get irritated with me no matter what I do, so that's not a consideration. If I wear a black shirt, some people get irritated. If I wear a white shirt, some people get irritated. If I wear a purple shirt, some people get irritated. If I do my hair this way, people get irritated. If I speak this way, people get irritated. If I change my glasses, people get irritated. If I use my glasses too long, people get irritated. The reality is the pen community is extremely pedantic. And no matter what you do, you can't please everyone. This is a fact. Another thing I wish I would have known before I started on this endeavor. It's a reality. And it doesn't matter what you do. It's not just the pen community. People have strong opinions. And if you do things they don't like, they'll get annoyed. Guess what? It's the way it is. Nothing you can do about it. So that's something I've had to learn. And it took me years to learn this. You can't please everyone. If I want to change my format, then I would. And I know full well that if I would do that, people would get annoyed. When I flipped the writing sample and the likes and dislikes, most people said, yeah, that makes sense. But some people didn't like it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I can't please everyone. But I wouldn't say that holds me back from making changes because now people have come to expect it. But like I said before, to me it's an advantage that people have come to expect things. And that is certainly a reason not to change it. But people being irritated is, yeah, people will always be irritated. Doesn't matter. And the final question is, are you still fine with the format? Yeah. And I think I've answered that question kind of implicitly throughout the whole video. But yes, I like the format. And there are things I could do differently. But I think overall this format works pretty well. So for me, this is what I have. This is what people have come to kind of expect. And I'm happy with the way I do it. I'm just happy with it. It works for me. I found over the years ways that make the videos as painless for me as possible as to time, because bear in mind, this is something I do in my spare time, right? And yes, there are patrons who pay me, and I'm very grateful for that. But I would make more money if I were part-time at McDonald's than doing pen reviews. And think about the amount of time I invest at 3 videos a week, every week. Not a complaint, I'm just saying, if you're in this for the money, fountain pen reviews are not the thing to do. I should really start doing makeup tutorials and show off the bikinis I buy. That makes a lot of money. But fountain pens do not. Not in advertising either. I promised you this. So, having said all that, I'm happy with the format. I still find it enjoyable. I'm assuming you do too because you're watching this. And that's all there's to it. So, if you have any further questions, I hope you enjoyed the little bit of insight in the world of B.R.E. Brown pen videos. If you have any other questions, please leave them below. I will get to them as soon as I can. And that, as they say, is that.